गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वर्णानामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धस्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वर कपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभां यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौरथाहिर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्दे बोधमयं। मेरा ट्यून चेंज कर दिया है तुमने। महेश कारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम् नानापुराणनिगमसम्मतं यत् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथगाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमतनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलतनोति रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। हरि ओम। Which verse we are on? 21? We are looking at 26 to 28. 21 हो गया। Let's see. वो गलत लिखा होगा यार। 31 राइट? हाँ हाँ ये हो गया। वो वीडियो पे मेरे को चेंज करना पड़ेगा। I must have made a mistake. So just let's read from 26 to 30 and then recap and then move on. पुरा रामायणे रामो रावणं 26 sorry. पुरा रामायणे रामो रावणं देवकण्टकं हत्वारणे रणश्लाघी सपुत्रबलवाहनं सीतया सह सुग्रीव लक्ष्मणाभ्यां समन्वितः अयोध्यामगमद्रामो हनूमत्प्रमुखैर्वृतः अभिषिक्तपरिवृतो वसिष्ठाद्यैर्महात्मभिः सिंहासने समासीनः कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभः. We saw this in the earlier era, during one of the Sri Ram's incarnations, I explained all this. Yeah, when he had slayed the demon Ravana, who was like a thorn for the gods, along with his sons, army, and mounts, and then returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Sita, Sugriv, Lakshman, Hanuman, and other monkeys. He was crowned there as the king, emperor of Ayodhya, and surrounded by sage Vashishta and other sages and seers. He sat on the throne and looked as splendorous and glorious as crores of sun. When you look at this, scene, what is it representing? अभी एकदम से ऐसे my mind is going in that direction. Too much of who am I? So what is going on? Just as Ayodhya, first is Ayodhya. Ayodhya is where there is no conflict, meaning that mind where there is no conflict. All the monkeys, what are the monkeys? What are the sages? They are all the thoughts. And among all the thoughts, the monkey thoughts and the sages' thoughts, who is resplendent? Sri Ram. Who is Sri Ram? The self itself is resplendent. So it is not disturbed by the thoughts. The equanimity or the realization or that which is the Paramatma, which is Ram, it's undisturbed by the mind. Mind meaning thoughts. Thoughts, what are the types of thoughts? Monkey thoughts and sage thoughts. Sages are realized and monkeys are like Hanuman's, except Hanuman, he knows who he is. See how suddenly this thought came. Maybe Ramana Maharishi's grace. So, and how is he sitting? Yeah, last week, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyato bhanti kuto yamagne tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. He sat on the throne and looked as a splendorous and glorious as crores of suns put together. In other words, it is a language where even all the millions of suns put together, they could not. He was more resplendent than them, more shining than them. Drishtva tada hanumantam pranjalim purata sthitam krutakaryam nirakangsham jnanapeksham mahamatim rama sita muvachedam bruhi tattvam hanumate nishkalmashoyam nishkalmashoyam jnanasya patram no nitya bhaktiman. At that time, see, the story is our Lord Mahadev, Lord Shiva, is telling the story to Parvati ji, who is having a doubt as regards the nature of Sri Ram. That is what is going on, no? So now he is saying, at that time, Drishtva tada Hanumantam, then at that time, Hanuman, Pranjalim Purata Sthitam Krutakarya Nirakangsham. He had already finished Krutakarya. He had already done what had to be done, and after finishing all the jobs, Krutakarya assigned to him. And who is this? Who does not want anything in return? He stood in front of the Lord and who was, अच्छा यहाँ पे ये भी लिखा है ज्ञानापेक्षम महामतिम. Who is this Hanuman? He is Mahamati. Mahamati is great intelligence and also is full of knowledge. He is of the fully matured in knowledge, and Nirakangsham, Krutakarya Nirakangsham. He has done all his jobs. Nirakangsham is not expecting anything in return. Pranjalim Purata Sthitam. Purata means in front of. Sthitam is standing. Pranjali is with folded hands, standing in front of, staying in front of Ramchandraji. Who? Hanumantam. Then what does he say? Rama Sita Muvachedam Bruhi Tattvam Hanumate Nishkalmashoyam Jnanasya Patram no Nitya Bhaktiman. Seeing him, Rama Sita Uvachedam bruhi tattvam Hanumate. And in this 30th verse he says, seeing him, Sri Ram said to Sita, O Sita, this fellow Hanuman is greatly devoted and dedicated to both of us. He is without sins, meaning he is pure, he is having no error in his personality, he is righteous, and also Nitya Bhaktiman, and he is eternally devoted to us, and also without any Nishkalmashoyam. Nishkala means no deceit, no manipulation, एकदम straight है, simple है, कोई उसमें कलमश नहीं है. कलमश वही conceit or deceit, all that is missing out of that only comes where there is sense of duality, and all that is not there, and therefore and is worthy of acquiring. Now he says what? Jnanasya patram. he is qualified, he is a eligible patra, he is qualified student or disciple or devotee for what? He is worthy of acquiring the true, essential, supreme, absolute knowledge called Gyan. It's not that Hanumanji did not know it. Then why? लीला चल रही है ना, लीला चल रही है. When two masters are sitting opposite each other, both are established in the truth, yet they ask questions as if they don't know. Time pass हो रहा है यार. So here also they are doing, but we have to take it that our preparation must be like that of Hanumanji. And what is his preparation? खाना बनाना है, no, I am going for japa. Not like that. Satsang aa rahi hai, no, I have to go to sleep. You have to go to work, no, I think I'll take leave today. This is what is happening here? Huh?
Mind is
Fluctuating, yes, but don't want to do what is required to be done. We like to do, we want to do what we like to do, but we must do what is required to be done. This is the difference between Western thinking and Indian thinking, or spiritual thinking. If you want to grow as a person, you want to be a successful person. And what is success? Success is not money and wealth and houses and all that comes on the side. Success is a calm mind, an integrated mind, a peaceful mind, a happy mind. For that, what you need to do? You do what is required to be done. There's no question of like or dislike there. So you are a student, like our Simran. She did what was required to be done. What was that? Studies day in and day out. Why? She doesn't want to repeat year 12 again. You know, we were all in that same story. We all went through that. क्या हो गया? हाँ?
Sitting on the edge. Don't want to float. Just a little. Was taking too much.
नहीं नहीं ठीक है.
अभी
It's कहाँ था मैं? हाँ, we all have done what was required to be done. If someone says, oh, I wanted 99% in my year 12 or wherever, why did I not get it? You did not put the required best. You did not do that. Somewhere you cut short in your preparation. Somewhere. And if you say, no, I have done my best, then it is best. Story over. Then in your mind there will be no regret. If you have genuinely done your best that was required to be put forward for preparation, not only for year 12, but on a daily basis. For me it is every lecture, every time I am interacting with someone or I am eating food. Am I eating food 100% or am I distracted? Am I eating joyfully or am I thinking of some ugly thoughts and eating food, then that food also will not nourish me. See, accidents happen. Why? Because we are not doing what is required to be done. Accident happen while driving. Similarly, in life also accidents happen. See? And this is only because when we live a life liking what we do or doing what we like, it leads to corruption of our mind. Eventually it leads to irritability, it leads to depression, it leads to dependency, it leads to suicide, worst case scenario. So in life, watch, are our parents doing what they are supposed to, what is right for them? Are they taking, in spite of their bad health, in spite of what job they are doing, day in and day out, are they taking care of us? Yes, because that is their duty and they have to do that. What is your duty? What is my duty right now? Speak and confuse. Am I good at that? Then I am doing my job. What is your duty as a student? To study. To confuse the teacher. No. Your duty is to study. As a student, if you are a student, you have to study. That is your duty. Then don't get distracted by anything. No, I don't feel like giving exam today. So many cases I have come across. They do the first year and then they say, oh, I don't like this course. I think it is too much work. I will go into another one. Don't do that ever in your life. Choose one, stick to it, finish it off. Then you decide something else. Otherwise, this becomes repetition. It becomes a habit. You never in your life will finish anything completely. You'll put vacuum cleaner here, you will this corner, rest of it I'll do tomorrow. Again, not completed. You're washing dishes, you wash two, I don't feel like, wash tomorrow. Everything is tomorrow. Manana. When will it finish? Same way with your subject, you all nicely, you sit down and you create a plan. I'm going to do this. And when it comes to application, I think today I'll sleep. I have to work very hard today, Go to sleep. Then next day, so much I have to catch up. And thinking so much I have to catch up, you don't do anything. Then third day, even more load following you. We have all experienced. I'm not just talking students, even we, on my daily basis, if I don't water the plant, if I don't wash my clothes, if I don't sweep my room every day, if I don't keep the bathroom clean after every use, it just keeps adding on, and suddenly I have to put, if someday because of any reason I overlook it or I'm lazy about it, it adds on. Suddenly, oh my God, I have to do this also. My God, I think I should have got married and the wife would have done it. Wishful thinking. Yeah, it's only a wishful thinking. There is no possibility of realization.
It's an illusion.
I know. That's why I mentioned it. I am not attached to it. So we have to do what is right. We don't want to do what we like. If you go in that direction, it is leading to an unsettled mind. Because today you like one thing, tomorrow you might like many other things. And you will keep flipping. And there's no end to likes or dislikes. But when there is question of right and wrong, you know what is right. As a student, you have to study. As a lecturer, I have to give a talk. As a listener, you have to listen and not go to sleep. As a cook, you have to cook. There's no question. No, I don't feel like. Then face the consequences after that. Then what will you do? Please bring your own food from home. Come to satsang. Come to satsang, but bring your own food from home. So Hanumanji, what Hanumanji is, what is he? Kruta karya nirakangsham. See, half of our energy goes waste in expecting the results. If I suppose, I'm just taking this present example of Simran, suppose she studied all the time throughout her 2 years, 11th and 12th, thinking, I want this amount of marks. That would have stressed her out. I know when we were living in Delhi, behind our house was IIT. And every few months we used to get one suicide person there. Why? Expectation. And in their exams, quarterly exams, half-yearly exams, they would not score it, and they used to lose the plot. Why? Because they have spent so much money, or I am not good enough, or how can I not perform? So much weight on themselves, and as a result, वो कूद जाते थे, मर जाते थे. So this is हनुमान जी की तरह होना है क्या? Do what is required to be done without any expectation. That is a big one. And so here Ramchandra ji is saying he is worthy of acquiring true, essential, supreme, absolute knowledge called Jnana. Therefore you should teach him the elementary and essential truths about my nature. Ramchandra ji is saying about my nature. When he is saying, what does it signify? I am asking you people, what does it signify when he says, you teach him the elementary and essential truths about my nature? No, make full sentences. Just by saying that is not enough. What is Ram trying to signify here when he says, you tell him about my true nature? What does it mean?
He is the absolute and he can't speak about himself. He has
अच्छा स्टूडेंट है. लास्ट टाइम मैंने बताया था. हाँ, बाकी सब यूं करके देख रहे हैं. रामचंद्र जी within himself, he has already studied Yoga Vasishtha, no? He knows who he is, that he is the absolute reality. Being the absolute reality, how he is everything. For him, his vision is that of all inclusivity. How can he talk about himself to whom? Everyone is him only, from his point of view. How can water talk to water? Cannot possible. Water is everything. From water's point of view, there is no wave. Everything is water. So from Ramchandra ji's point of view, everyone is Ram only, meaning consciousness only. So how can, from his point of view, there is no duality. So how can he speak? Who can speak? Sita can speak. Now apply it to yourself subjectively. Ramchandra ji is the consciousness. Consciousness cannot speak. Then consciousness, and what is the Shakti of pure consciousness? The mind. Here it is the Sita, that is his Shakti, that is his the Maya Shakti or the Alhadini Shakti or whatever Shakti you call it, the potentiality. So where are thoughts possible? Where is duality possible? Not in the absolute. Duality is possible in the mind, at the individual level, or in the potentiality. So for Ramchandra ji, potentiality is Sita. For us, the potentiality, if we consider ourselves to be self, even if we have not realized, but self is ever present, then what is its potentiality? The mind. Mind can think, self does not think. Self-vision is the same as Ramchandra ji's vision. It cannot speak about anything because it's all that there is. So when speech has to be, explanation has to be made, then who will speak? The mind has to speak. The potentiality has to speak. So he is asking Sita, his potentiality, to explain to Hanumanji. What is Hanumanji? The monkey mind. What is this monkey mind? Which has learned to be quiet, which has been trained itself to be dedicated to Sri Ram. He has immense respect, reverence, dedication, surrender towards Ram, Sita, Lakshman, etc. Such a mind. We normally say monkey mind, isn't it? Because it's jumping from one topic to the other. So, but what is the case of Hanumanji? He is totally focused only on one, the Ram Parivar, knowing fully well that Ram is the center stage. No doubt there, complete devotion. That's why he recognizes that he is acquiring true, essential, supreme, and absolute knowledge. See? So, called Gyan. Therefore, you should teach him the truth about my true nature. So, Hanumanji is knowing the knowledge. Tatheti, together, 31st, 32nd, and 33rd verse. तथेति जानकी प्राह तत्वं रामस्य निश्चितं हनुमते प्रपन्नाय सीतालोकविमोहिनी रामं विद्धि परं ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयं सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं सत्तामात्रमगोचरम् आनन्दं निर्मलं शान्तं निर्विकारं निरञ्जनं सर्वव्यापिनमात्मानं स्वप्रकाशमकल्मषम्. So beautifully, सिर्फ इतना पढ़ने से ही क्लिक हो जाता है. You don't need to know everything, but then Sita tatha iti Janaki praha. Then Janaki spoke. Who is Janaki? The daughter of King Janak is called as Janaki. Just like Arjun, son of Kaunti, is called as Kaunteya. That is in case of male. Similarly, Janaki, she is the daughter of Janak. Praha tattvam ramasya nishchitam. And what is that? Tattvam Ramasya Nishchitam. What did she speak about? She talked about the Tattva. She is not talking about the person Ram. She is not talking about the husband Ram. She is not talking about the king Ram. She is not talking about the Ram who killed Ravan and other Rakshasas. She is talking about the Tattva Ram. Ramasya Nishchitam. And conclusively, she told the essence of Ram. To whom? Hanumate prapannaya Sita loka vimohini. And Janak, so here they are given something else. Who cast her delusionary spell on the world and said all right to Sri Ram and began to narrate the essence of Sri Ram, that is Sri Ram's essential truthful nature and form as being a manifestation or image of macrocosmic supreme soul called Paramatma to Hanuman, who had sought their refuge in search of true knowledge. So Hanumate prapannaya parijataya shishyaste ham shadhi mam tum prapannam. Prapannam means who is surrendered at the feet of the Lord. So who is this Hanumate? Who is this Hanuman? He is he who is surrendered at the feet of Ram and Sita and everyone. And Loka Vimohini, she is keeping the world deluded by her glance. That is the Maya Shakti, no? You consider Ram as a person. Yes, what is her name? Lavanya. No competition, please. So So, so she is deluding the world. She is deluding the world through her glances. That Sita, to whom Hanuman was surrendered. Then what is the next verse, 32nd verse? Ramam vidhi param brahma satchidanandam advayam sarvopadhi vinirmuktam satta matram agocharam. In the next verse he says that Sita said, O son Hanuman, O son Hanuman, you should recognize Sri Ram as the supreme Brahma. Who is this? Here Brahma does not mean Brahmaji, the creator. Here Brahma is Brahman. And as the supreme Brahman, who is sublime, who is very, very sublime here means very, very subtle. Can't be caught by the senses or the mind. Real, truthful, matchless, peerless, supreme soul, who, meaning supreme soul here, the supreme Atma, and who is the treasury abode of eternal bliss, happiness, peace and tranquility. Ramam vidhi param brahma satchidanandam advayam. So, he is of the nature of Advaya, non-duality. He is of the nature of Satchidanand, existence, consciousness and bliss, and of non-duality. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam. He is absolutely untouched, absolutely free of all upadhis. All upadhis, all conditionings. All conditionings, under what category you can put all conditionings? Desha, Kala, Vastu. Space, time and objectivity. They cover all the conditionings. So he is free of all upadhis. But I am seeing Ram in front of me. He's got a form, he's got a height, he's got a length, he's got a face, he's got five senses. What you are seeing is because of because of me. I am deluding you, so you are seeing that absolute as Ram. But Ram, Ramchandra ji, in essence, he is beyond all upadhis. He cannot be caught by the five elements. He cannot be caught by space, time of objectivity. They do not have the audacity to condition that Parabrahma Paramatma. So is true about every one of us. So is true about every one of us. Keep making it subjective. अध्यात्म रामायण है ना, अपने ऊपर अप्लाई नहीं करोगे तो कुछ मतलब नहीं आएगा. तो पहले भगवान को देखो, फिर भगवान को अपने दिल में देखो, and understand that Bhagwan alone is the Atma that is expressing here, and it is of the same nature. So sarvopadhi vinirmuktam satta matram agocharam, and he is of the nature of existence and agocharam and and he is devoid of all attributes. See, gochar is the go is the sense object. Gochar is the objective perception. He is agocharam. So he is without any objective perception. Here he says, without doubt he is devoid of, that is beyond the scope of realm of any or all honors and attributes, is the only exclusive authority, is not the subject matter of mind, intellect and sense organs. So here where is the verse? Sarvopadhi. So we told you it is Desha Kala Vastu. Here he is in the commentary, he is taking it as body, the body, when we take body, it is the senses, the mind, the intellect. This is where the knowledge takes place. Body does not have any knowledge. Who has the first place of knowledge? Where is the first place of knowledge? The senses. Eyes have they take in the knowledge of the name, form and colors. Ears take the knowledge of stimuli of sound, and so on. So senses are the first place. Second is the mind. Third is the intellect, which concludes everything. So this is not, Ram is not the subject of all these three. Agocharam is just one part, but agocharam also means the mind and the intellect. In other words, mind, intellect or senses do not have the capacity to bind Ram into any form or confine him within their scope. That is what is told. Anandam nirmalam shantam. Now then, who is Ram? He is Anandam. He is of the nature of bliss. Nirmalam, he is absolutely pure. Shantam, he is absolutely peaceful and tranquil. If he is peaceful and tranquil, naturally the next one, Nirvikaram, he is without any, no, not form. Vikar is modifications, without any modifications. Niranjanam, Anjana, collyrium or darkness, ignorance. Another word for it is ignorance. Niranjanam, free of ignorance. In other words, free of Maya. In other words, he is ever abiding in complete knowledge. Ignorance, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, is equal to incomplete knowledge. But Ramchandraji is established in his own self as he is, and therefore Niranjan means he is beyond ignorance. Now, ignorance cannot touch him. In other words, if we take ignorance as Maya, Maya as Sita, he is beyond. Whether Sita is there or not there, he is not affected, and you see that in his life. He does the drama of getting affected, but in essence, when we are talking about Tattva, he doesn't get affected. Sarva Vyapinam Atmanam. Sarva Vyapi. He is of the nature of all pervasiveness. Sarva, all, Vyapi, pervasiveness. And how does he pervade everything? Atmanam. By being the self of all that there is, he pervades everything and everyone. How does he pervade this table? How does he pervade this broken camera stand? As existence, satta matra. How does he pervade the beings from mosquito, amoeba to gods? By way of consciousness. See? So if the inert world is pervaded by way of existence, and the conscious world is pervaded by way of consciousness, then where is the question of Anand? The one who is abiding, who is conscious of his existence, is of the nature of bliss. If you can become, you as a seeker can become conscious of your continuous unbroken existence, which is beyond birth and death, you will be crazy like Ram. You will be happy for no reason. You will be blissful. Then all these adjectives that are given, Anandam, Nirmalam, Shantam, Nirvikaram, Niranjanam, Sarvavyapinam, Atmanam, Swaprakasham, Akalmasham, Swaprakasham, self-effulgent, self-knowing, self-conscious. All these adjectives get applied to you also. Aren't these same adjectives applied to all realized masters? If you chant the Shirdi Sai Baba Aarti, all these words are there in some form or the other. Brahmando Koti, Brahmanda Nayaka, Maharaja Dhiraj, सच्चिदानंद, आगे आगे कुछ चलता है, मेरे को भी पूरा याद नहीं है. Yogiraj. So Sarvavyapinam, all pervasive. Atmanam, he is the self of everything and everyone. Swaprakasha, Swaprakasham, self-effulgent, self-knowing, self-conscious, does not need another thought, another light, someone else to tell him that you are of the nature of light. He knows it. Without thought, he knows it. You also know it. You do the drama of not knowing it. We all know it. So, then what are we doing if we know it? Leela. You play the game. Remain equanimous, remain akalmasham. There is no deceit within him. There is no hypocrisy within him. There is no kal is conflict, free of all conflict. From kal is coming kali, kal not tomorrow. So in this manner, the 33rd verse also was said. Let's read what is given here. Is a treasury of bliss, joy, peace and tranquility, is most pure and holy, is without any faults and reproof, is niranjanam, faultless, free from all delusions, is all pervasive, sarvavyapinam, omnipresent, self-illuminated, that is saprakasham, and atmanam, that is paramatma, that is he is the supreme soul, purushottama, therefore, or paramatma, who is without any sins, akalmasham, or we can say without any sins or without any blemishes, without any conflict, without any errors, without any shortcomings, different words for the same word, akalmasham, and is without unrighteousness and impropriety of any kind. He is righteous incarnate. Well, incarnate as the form, but in essence, the self can never be doing wrong. And therefore it is told, come back to your essential nature, come back to your essential nature. If you can't do it, surrender to the Lord, surrender to the Lord. Hanumanji is surrendered to the Lord. He understands. He is the storehouse of knowledge. But he is so devoted to Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Bharat, etc. that Ramchandraji wants to show him, wants to grace him with true knowledge of his. He thinks. Why? Ramchandraji is thinking, this fellow is so devoted, I am so in love with him, I want to bless him more and more and more. So he wants to bless him with the true nature, by letting him know the true nature of himself through Sita. But that same Hanumanji, when Ramchandraji asks him, I think it is afterwards, I don't know which this incident is, but when afterwards Ramchandraji asks him, hey Hanuman, why do I love you so much? Why do you love me so much? Same Hanumanji is telling. And when Ramchandraji asks, why do I have so much affinity towards you, love towards you? I can't put a pinpoint it. Why do you love me so much? What is our relationship? Just out of love he was talking to Ram. And Hanumanji, he says, my relationship to you, O Lord, is when I think of my body, I am your servant. Ramasya dasoham. When I consider you as the Lord, I consider myself to be your part. And when I consider yourself to be the Supreme Self, there is no difference between you and me. This was the knowledge of Hanumanji. See, knowing the self, you can come to know the self, come to abide in the self in Nirvikalpa Samadhi to some extent, because there is no doubt about who you are. But it is not complete abidance, because you again come out into the world. Once you have, and when will complete abidance happen? When will complete abidance happen? Are you for whole life, year after year, day after day, month after month, moment after moment, are you going to keep rejecting the world and getting afraid from the world that this is not Ram and I have to go into Samadhi? This is not Ram, I have to go into Samadhi. I come out of Samadhi, oh my God, again all these problems, I want to go back into Samadhi. Is that how you want to live? Is there another better way? For that, what is required? That before going into samadhi, and because till now you have watched the pattern, you are going in and coming out, going in and coming out. When you go in, you are one way, one. When you come out, the world is still there. Can you experience what you experienced in samadhi when you come out of samadhi also? For that, you have to understand all this. For that, you have to understand the entire creation is nothing but the Ram. Until unless the entire creation is not interacted as an expression of Ram through his potentiality Sita, till then final consummation will not take place. It will not take place. So, when he says Hanumanji, two ways of looking. Either Hanumanji already knew it, Leela is going on. If Hanumanji is Jnani, he is understood that he is the self. The next stage is what? Next stage is, once you have come to know you are the conscious principle, you have to realize that you are the source, you are the essence of the entire creation. Of the entire creation. That comes only by grace. That cannot come by merely thinking. Thinking is required, but grace is also required. Then transformation. First you are thinking that you are the Atma only in this body. Now you are thinking you are the Atma in everybody. This is Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sarasapad. But this is also at the relative level. There is one step further. If you want to get to the essence of Ram, then one step further. So they keep mixing the words. When they say Sarva Vyapinam, all pervasive. From absolute point of view, there is everywhere he alone is. So what will he pervade? He cannot pervade himself. But if we take the position of one step down from the absolute, then we say the Ishvara is pervading the entire Prakriti. And what is the nature of Prakriti? Zero and everything. Zero is unmanifest. Everything is manifest. Isn't it? Who is pervading both zero and manifest? Can the Prakriti express herself without the conscious principle? Do you recognize the mind cannot become zero and everything it is happening in waking and dream? It is happening because of the self. Have we come to this realization? When that clicks, for that all this is going on. This narration is. This is for our benefit. So wonderful. Continuing, 34th, 35th, 36th verse. Mam vidhi moola prakritim sarga sthityanta karinim tasya sannidhi matrena srujami damatandrita tat sanidhyan maya srushtam tasmin aropyate budhaihi ayodhya nagare janma raghuvansheti nirmale vishwamitra sahayatvam मरव संरक्षणम ततः. यही वर्ड है ना? हाँ, मख संरक्षणम ततः अहल्याशापशमनम चापभंगो महेशितुः. So one more verse and then the story of Ramayana begins. Then here माम विद्धि मूल प्रकृतिम सर्ग स्थिति अत्यंत कारिणीम तस्य सन्निधि मात्रेण सृजामि idam atandrita, and you must recognize me, Sita, as the pristine, sublime nature. Nature means Prakriti. Prakriti means potentiality. We will not take the word ignorance here, because Shakti is not ignorant. She acts as if ignorant for Leela's sake. Only for the sake of Leela. because drama has to continue. So whenever we see that Sita went through the fire, that Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, then Sita had to give the Agni Pariksha, or Sati had to give, burnt herself in the fire, she did not listen to Lord Shiva, and every wife does the same, even whether it's God's or it is yours. Sometimes they don't listen, isn't it? Then consequences are there. And what is the consequence? They have to take birth again and then rediscover the connection with the Supreme. Now we are not talking here only the wife of man's wife. What is the wife here? The mind is the wife of the soul, of the Atma. Atma is the Purusha principle, mind is the Prakriti principle, wife principle. So when mind is not dedicated, surrendered to, in love with the Atma, it has to take birth again, because it is only because of the samskaras in the mind, karmas in the mind. When the mind forgets the Supreme Self, the Atma, then it starts collecting memories, then it starts doing karma, then it starts, and all that data which it has collected becomes the cause for future birth. So it is the mind which goes and takes birth again. You don't have to die for that. Every day is it not happening? You are going to sleep and you are waking up again. It's not the same body, it's not the same mind, it's not the same house, it's not the same world. It seems to be same because it is changing very slowly, but actually everything has changed, just like in dream. But we are insisting that it is the same because everything is moving so slowly, as if your mind has gone into a freeze. You know, you क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Spot freeze क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Zip freeze, spot freeze, what? Vegetable, so that snap freeze. It's snap frozen, then they don't get bad. Your mind is snap frozen, and it's thinking that yesterday you is the today's you, today's you is going to be tomorrow's you. It is not possible only. It's frozen in time. See? Now ये click होना है. So where is the rebirth? Rebirth is for the mind. What is that which is identified with the mind? Is Atma identified with the mind? Never. Not possible only. Then who is identified with the mind? The phenomenal I, or the phenomenal consciousness, which says, this is my mind is my mind, your mind is your mind. And my mind is unique, independent than your mind. This consciousness takes birth again. That consciousness is called, the word for it is soul. SOLE, not SOUL. Why? Once you buy a shoe, जब पूरा घिस जाता है तो इंडिया में तो you can get a new soul, isn't it? Right? So what is this soul doing? It is getting ghisified through the life from birth till death. Ghis ke. Then it says, oh man, I am totally finished. This body cannot be ghisified anymore. Then what do? I want a new body. Means I want to express it with a new soul. Why? I am addicted. I want to ghisify more. I want to ghisify more. ये है स्टोरी. ये तो हो गई SOLE की बात. अब हो गई SOUL की बात. What is SOUL? Soul is that consciousness identified with the memories of the mind, that is the soul. It's only a concept. It is not reality. It may be relative reality, but it is that concept which keeps taking birth after birth after birth. So here it is being told, who is Sita? She says this entire world of names and forms and past and future and all the Ashtada Prakriti, it is all my expansion. I am the Prakriti. And here when she says, and you must recognize me, Sita. And how do you? Mam vidhi moola prakritim sarga sthiti atyanta karinim. I am the cause of birth, creation, maintenance and destruction. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh don't do anything. It is the Shakti who does. Because without Shakti, change is not possible. Without Shakti, movement is not possible. It is in the conscious principle, there is no movement. Shakti is of the nature of movement. Now apply to yourself. As the Atma, you are free of all movement. You are changeless principle. Even right now. As mind, nature of mind is movement. And what is the movement? Expansion, contraction. Manifestation, unmanifestation. Zero and everything. Zero and everything. And what do? What is the mistake we are making? We are considering ourselves to be the mind. Then you suffer. Only thing you will get is suffering if you consider yourself to be the mind. Because sometimes joy, sometimes sorrow, sometimes heat, sometimes cold, sometimes hunger, sometimes no hunger. So Sita ji is telling that, and you must recognize me, Sita, as the pristine, sublime nature, essential element and cosmic infinite creative energy behind creation, sustenance and annihilation. Indeed, tasya sannidhi matrena surjami idam atandrita. I create this delusionary world in conjunction with him. Who is him? Sri Ram. Without any let up or indolence. Means it is in perfect order. There is no fluke there. There is no chaos there. It is a perfect creation. Everything is planned out. And how is it planned? It is not sitting down, अच्छा अब क्या करने वाले हैं? ऐसे कुछ नहीं. Because Prakriti is completely surrendered to Ram, the absolute consciousness, she automatically gets integrated. And out of that integrated personality, when she says, in my sublime nature, pristine sublime, with no corruption, she is integrated. From integrity, only a perfection will come forth. So whatever creation comes about as creation, maintenance and destruction, it is of perfect order. There is no any iota of doubt or suspicion, or maybe it is like this, maybe I should not do this. All this does not happen there. And that is what, so understand, here Sita is telling her position with reference to Ram. We have to understand the mind's position with respect to who we are in essence. We in essence, or as essence, are the Atman, the untouched principle, just as Ram is. Ram and our essence Atma is one and the same. Prakriti and the mind is one and the same. We cannot work on Prakriti. For us, accessible Prakriti is our mind, potentiality. So what we have to do? We have to make our mind as pristine, as sublime, as infinite creative energy. How will it become like that? Only when it is surrendered to the self or Ramchandraji. See, it's simple hai. Equation is so simple. But what we lack is application. You know what to do, but you are not practicing 24/7 japa. You are not practicing 24/7 attentiveness towards that. What we are lacking is a lack of awareness in and through our daily life. Not awareness of the world, awareness of that unchanging principle. That is what we are lacking. उसके लिए कमिटमेंट चाहिए, उसके लिए डिसिप्लिन चाहिए. एवरी डे यू हैव टू कीप hitting that point, at least few times a day, which are dedicated to it. Slowly it will spread throughout your day. But initially you must find some time, maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening, 5 minutes at night. Enough. Don't do it in one go for a long period of time. 5 minutes, small doses. See, this transformation come about without you knowing that transformation has come about. And that is the way it happens. You don't even realize you have grown old. You don't realize and suddenly hunger comes. You don't plan for hunger. It happens. You don't plan for sleep. Sleep happens. You don't plan for waking. Waking happens. See? So ये principle याद रखना है कि this mind, if it goes worldwards towards the multiplicity, it will disintegrate itself. While living in the world, if the mind is aware of the constant changeless principle, or just as Sri Ram, it will integrate itself. We prefer integration. Why? What will integration bring about? It will bring about joy, happiness, peace, tranquility, purity, bliss. All these, without you doing anything, they will automatically start expressing themselves. So she says here that indeed I create this delusionary world in conjunction with him, Sri Ram, without any let up or indolence. That is, I do it diligently and constantly. Now you think, apply to yourself when she says, I create, I maintain, I destroy. Who? Sita. With the support of Sri Ram. Because without Sri Ram, Sita has got no meaning. Without the Atma, mind has got no meaning. Correct? Without Atma, mind has no meaning. Without the blessings, without the presence of that constant principle, can the mind function? No. Is the mind not on a daily basis creating, maintaining, destroying? It creates the waking world, maintains the waking world, destroys the waking world. Phenomena. Then it creates the dream world, maintains the dream world, destroys the dream world. See? My God, that is exactly like Sita, my mind is. Yes. Then I am Ram. Yes. Ram alone is expressing through our heart. We are not separate to him. We are not separate to him. When you take it, this is subjective. You have to apply. I create this delusionary world in conjunction with him without any let up of or indolence. Does your mind forget that today I don't feel like waking up? That is called as death, isn't it? Every day it is doing its job. Every day the waking, dream, deep sleep, creation, maintenance and destruction. Whether you call it on these three experiential level, or with every thought, with every breath, with every idea, with every concept, creation of a concept, maintenance of a concept. Then when like our allopathic medicines, creation 10 years ago, maintenance for 10 years, 10 years later, it is ineffective, new medicine. Our COVID vaccine, this is what is happening. वही स्टोरी है. But with every thought, with every breath, creation, maintenance, and destruction is going on incessantly without a stop. Now she continues. Ayodhya nagare janma raghuvansheti nirmale. Huh? In spite of it, the stupid and ignorant people charge him, that is, allege him of being the creator of this creation of mine, which I have done myself by simply being near to him. So his taking birth in Ayodhya in the most pure clan of Raghu, then helping sage Vishwamitra by protecting his fire sacrifice, liberating Ahilya from her curse and breaking the bow of Lord Shiva, were all due to my influence or wish. So here I think he has gone into the next wish. Ayodhya nagare janma raghuvansheti nirmale Vishwamitra sahayatvam makha samrakshanam tataha ahalya shamanam chapa bhango maheshituhu. So ignorant people, they think Ram broke the bow, Ram made the helped the Ram was born in Ayodhya first thing. Then Ram went to Vashishta to study. Then Ram did this. Then Ram studied Yoga Vashishta. We will think, Ram was Bevkuf before that. It's a wrong thing to say, no? That he was ignorant. But then what is this? Why are we seeing it? Why is it given? For our benefit. To make us feel affinity towards Ram. That Ram also was born like us. Ram also went to school. Ram also studied. Ram also had confusions. Ram was guided through his confusions by sage sage Vashishta when Yoga Vashishta was given. Then same Ram to serve the humanity when he was a good disciple. So when Vishwamitra said, I need the two boys, he did not hesitate to go. He helped him to kill the Rakshasas and made the yajna successful. He put his feet on the Ahalya, and that stone became the woman, the Ahalya, Gautama's wife, and so on. And then he picked up the Dhanush, Shiva Dhanush, and broke it. So she says he did not do anything because he cannot do anything. It was me who made him do. Just as now understand, just as unmanifest Shakti, Ishvara and Prakriti. Ishvara, consciousness is called Ishvara with reference to unmanifest Prakriti. When she manifests, how she manifests? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. With reference to Sattva, Rajas, Shakti, now one unmanifest Shakti is expressing as three Shaktis. Right? Those three Shaktis, Ishvara is the one, but now instead of expressing through one, he is expressing through three. If there is no Shakti, he cannot express. So, who is more important? She is telling, he is seen by you as you are seeing it is because of me. And therefore in Kali Badi, if you go to Calcutta, you will see Kali Mata standing on the Lord Shiva. That he is the substratum. But and on that she is standing. People take it wrongly. Shakti is more important. There is no question of Shakti. Absolute is absolute. Shakti has its place, the absolute has its place. But what is the nature of both, that we must determine. Shakti is fickle in nature. Fickle then becomes very negative word. So what is she is in flux. Her nature is that of flux. Her nature is that of oscillation. Her nature is that of expansion and contraction. Her nature is that of manifestation and unmanifestation. Shakti. and she cannot do, her nature cannot express without the substratum, and that substratum is the Paramatma. Another name given to him with reference to Sita is Ram. When you study Krishna and Radha, then Radha is the Shakti and Krishna is the Paramatma. When you study Ganesh, Riddhi Siddhi are the Shakti, and is it Riddhi Siddhi? Then Ganesha is the Paramatma. If Subramanyam and his two, who are there? Valli and someone. Revana. Devangan. Devasena. What do you say? Devane, okay. So, Valli and Devane. So, they are the Shakti and Subramanyam is the Paramatma. So, this is the same. So, in your, in us, what is the Shakti? The mind. What is oscillating? The mind. What is in flux? The mind. What is changing? The mind. Who is not changing? The conscious principle. But what mistake are we doing? We are identified with the changing as I. That's where we are making the mistake. This has to be corrected. And therefore Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, you are having incomplete knowledge because you are thought consciousness, the mind I am, the oscillating mind I am. You are the constant one, not the oscillating one. And oscillating and constant are one only. The total waters and the oscillating, changing wave are one water only. So here Sita Ji is saying that the people consider him to be born in Ayodhya in the pure clan of Raghu, and they allege him, they blame him in this manner. They think he was born. He is the birthless one. He is the self-effulgent one. We gave the property qualities before. He is the all-pervasive one. Then what you are seeing him as Sri Ram, son of Dasharatha, that is all my creation. It is happening because of me, in unison with the constant principle. So he is taking birth in Ayodhya in the most pure clan of Raghu, then helping sage Vishwamitra by protecting his fire sacrifice, liberating Ahalya from her curse and breaking the bow of Lord Shiva, were all due to my influence or wish. Wish, concept, idea, wish, desire is all in the mind. It is not possible in the changeless principle. It's not possible in the absolute. It's only possible in the mind. So she's taking full responsibility for what you are thinking Ram to be. She's taking full responsibility for what you are thinking Ram to be. You must also, your mind should also take full responsibility for all the roles that you are playing. The mind must take the responsibility. That all the drama, all the attachments, all the roles, all the forms, all the past, all the future, it's all the game of, it's all the delusion of mind. Nothing to do with the conscious principle that I am. Then what will be your conclusion if this is what you are saying? Heck, who will worry about mind? I will not worry about mind. I will give it zero value. Then what you do? Witness. What's next? Speak. What's next? Don't speak. Keep watching. अभी इधर मेरे को लेक्चर देना है, मैं दे रहा हूँ. But you look at sages, nobody can prompt them to speak if they don't want, if there is no urge coming from inside. Raman Maharishi, we are taking Ramana Gita. He sits there, people are asking, he doesn't answer any question. He is sitting in himself, as himself. Continuing verse 37, 38 and 39. Matpani grahanam paschad bhargavasya madakshayah ayodhya nagare vaso maya dvadashava shikah dandakaranyagamanam viradhavada evacha maya maricha maranam maya sita hrutistatha जटायुषो मोक्षलाभः कबन्धस्य तथैव च शबर्या पूजनं पश्चात् सुग्रीवेण समागमः. So first Sitaji told about, don't be stupid to conclude that Sri Ram was born in Ayodhya. You are seeing him as born only because of me. He went to school only because of me. He is growing from child to teenage to and so on only because of me. Whatever he is doing in his life through that form, it's only because of me. He cannot do anything by himself. It's so true. You cannot. Where is karma? Where is doing? Where is kriya possible? In Atma or in mind? Mind. In the absolute truth, Ram, no kriya is possible. He is kriya free, action free. There is no activity possible. From water's point of view, there is no coming and going of waves or ocean. Activity free, because he is everywhere. From space point of view, there is no creation and dissolution of worlds. From Atma point of view, there is no coming and going of waking dream and deep sleep. From Atma point of view, there is no coming and going of thoughts, because from Atma point of view, everything is Atma only. There is nothing else other than Atma. Then where is this whole drama going on? In Prakriti, by the will of Prakriti. Because in the mind alone the desire comes, in the mind alone wish comes. So she is saying it is all because of me. And then she says, oh, where are we? Thereafter, and here, so what I was telling you was, now the whole Ramayana in Sankshipt, in few verses it will be told, and she has already taken the responsibility that all this Ram Leela is happening because of me from the time of birth on itself. So he took birth because of me, he went to school because of me. Then what was the next one? That he was born in the Raghukul because of me. Then helping sage Vishwamitra to protect the sacrifice was also because of my wish. Then liberating Ahalya also because of me. Then breaking the bow of Lord Shiva, that also I only told him. And then thereafter he married me. If see, there is a great secret given here. If you understand, great secret given here. I'll tell you. I'll ask you first, and then I'll answer. Thereafter, he married me, demolished the vanity and haughtiness of sage Parshuram, and stayed with me for 12 years in Ayodhya. So this potentiality Sita is also realized. Sita is also when Ram and Sita came together, Ramchandraji is already of the nature of realization. Sita is also realized. She is, from birth she knows that she is none other than Ram's. See, this is only possible. Suppose today at this moment I die thinking in this manner, that my mind is continuously thinking, I am of the consciousness, I am dedicated to consciousness, I cannot function without consciousness, I only made consciousness express as Swami Paramananda, I only made the infinite Atma to express previously in the house of his father and mother, and then he got the body from the father and mother, then he went through his life, then he grew up, and then he became sannyasi. I only made it. Mind is thinking, huh? See? And then and what is, before marriage, what had to be done? What was, we'll talk about that in detail later. What did Ramchandra ji have to do before getting Sita? First, who was killed? First, Tatka? No, before their sister or mother, who was she? कौन थी वो लेडी? In the Vishwamitra Yagya, Marich, हाँ माँ, ताटका, वही तो ताड़का, both Krishna and Ram. तुम रामायण नहीं पढ़ते क्या? मेरे को हाँ, मारीच कर रहे हो सब. Both Krishna and Ram first killed the Tadka and their Putana. पूतना मर्दन राम नहीं, पूतना मर्दम कृष्ण हो गया ना, फिर राम आ गया. So attachment to the energy, to the Shakti, to the potentiality, that had to be broken. Then what was the next? He made inert into sentient. Then he shot Marich. Marich को कहाँ भेजा? What is Marich? Mirage. Marich means mirage. Mirage समझते हो? क्या बोलते हैं उसको हिंदी में? हाँ? मरीचिका. हाँ, मृगजल, मरीचिका. Thank you. So that is the mirage. Waters बोलते हैं ना, जहाँ पानी नहीं है फिर भी पानी दिखता है. That is Marichika. You can see the holes. Sometimes you can see far in the deserts. You can see the oasis there, and camels and the nomads, they used to go after that Marichika, but they keep going and they don't find any city. But in the Marichika they could see the dates trees and the water and everything. But there is nothing there when they get there. That Marich. So that was destroyed by, or was sent away by Ramchandra ji. Then he came to Ahalya. And Ahalya, he turned inert into sentient. Because he had the discriminative eye. Now he is not affected by the ignorance, which is the female, the Tadka. He has conquered the Marich, the delusion or Tadka is the delusion, Marich is the illusion. Yes, let's put it that way. Tadka is the non-apprehension, Marich is the misapprehension. Tadka is the ignorance, Marich is the projection. It's a nice way of putting all these things. After that, when he knows that this is only a projection, now he has a power. He touches the stone becomes Ahalya. Then he goes to Janakpuri, Mithila. There, before marrying Sita, what he has to do? He has to break the bow. What is the bow?
Bow is the ego, Swamiji, represents ego.
Okay. Bow is the ego. And what is ego identified with? Waking, dream and sleep. The way bow looks in our Indian movies, how the way bow looks? Like a Om, isn't it? And what is given? What is the exercise given? Making the bow of Om, put your attention that the Om is representing or indicating, and he broke these three. This he went beyond. Breaking the bow means going beyond Om, transcending Om, going beyond waking, dream, and deep sleep, going beyond physical, gross, subtle, and causal. That is breaking the bow. Now Ramchandra ji was at par with Sita, because Sita from childhood she could pick up the bow. From childhood she could pick up the bow. It's her creation only. She wants to check whom I get married to, is he equal or not. So he did all, Ramchandra ji did all this. Who made him do it? Sita made him do it. Now they are equals coming together. They are equals coming together. And therefore, young boys and girls, and I've become very, very, today for Raman Maharishi also, one young boy is coming, that Nitin, young fellow. He's maybe 24. How much? 24. Oh, I thought he was दाढ़ी वाड़ी है तो 30 का होगा, 24. But at that age, I said, hey, ये क्योंकि वो उधर है, भजन कीर्तन करते हैं, मैंने कहा समझ आ रहा है? ऐसे ही मजाक में पूछा, स्वामी जी मजा आ रहा है. 24-year-old engineer. No, but so in tune with the topic. He's just sitting there quietly with a smile on his face and continuously, without no fidgeting, he's just absorbing it. Sir, Swami ji, thoda pada hai, par aanand aa raha hai. 24-year-old. What we were doing at 24-year-old? Black is black, I want my baby back. डिस्कोथेक में डांस करते थे. What is he doing? He's listening to Sri Ramana Gita. भगवान, मैं कहता हूँ भगवान को मेरे ऊपर दया कैसे आई समझ नहीं आता. I think he made a mistake. See? So now you see the sequence, and all this is done by the wishes of Prakriti, that is Sita. She is making Ram do it, because Ram is absolute. How is she making Ram do it? By influencing the mind of Ram, if you want to put it that way. Huh? Then he gets married. Then he gets married to, what is that called? Where are we? Thereafter he married me, demolished the vanity and haughtiness of sage Parshuram. Who is Parshuram? The animalism in man, the urge to destruct, that had to be destroyed, that had to go away. So when now these two have come, and we know the story, I'm not going to go into detail of that story, but he takes and then he sends Parshuram to the Mandarachal mountain, where he goes and does his tapasya. And then she says, we lived together for 12 years. 12 years is one tapas. 12 years is one tapas. So whenever we do, if we have taken some mantra and we want to realize the mantra, you have to do a tapas of 12 years. You have to stick with it for 12 years. When you are doing certain sadhanas, for example, those who are doing pranayam and kundalini or this or that, they have to do a tapasya for 12 years. Then it fructifies. It requires that type of period. So here when she says that, and stayed with me for 12 years in Ayodhya, and then thereafter what? Now next phase of life she made Ramchandraji to go through. Then he went to the Dandakaranya forest slayed Virad, killed Marich in the form of decoy golden deer. नहीं यार, ये मारीच हाँ मारीची तो आया था ना, हाँ मारीची तो आया था. He came as the golden deer afterwards. हाँ, killed Marich in the form of golden deer. First time he threw him away, far away, but he didn't learn his lesson under whatever the circumstances, out of his nature, and under the form of delusion. Ravana, he was made to come as a golden deer. मरना तो था ही उसने, क्योंकि illusion always, it will have an end sometime or the other. So killed Marich in the form of decoy golden deer, and unreal illusionary Sita was then abducted by Ravana. This Sita is telling, oh Hanuman, not this real me, the imaginary Sita, the hologram Sita was abducted by Ravana. Then दंडकारण्य गमनम विरा, हाँ ये हो गया ना. जटायुषो, हाँ जटायुषो मोक्षलाभः कबंधस्य तथैव च शबर्या पूजनम पश्चात् सुग्रीवेण समागमः. Then he says, then Jatayu, once she was abducted, then Jatayu tried to save her, and that Jatayu was, whose wing was cut by Ravana, was given moksha by Sri Ramchandra ji, by keeping his head on his lap itself, and then he considered Jatayu as his own father. And then Kabandha, the demon, he was liberated, and you think Jatayu is good? No, the bird Pakshi Yoni or the Rakshas Yoni as Kabandha, they are not healthy. They are because of some mistake committed somewhere in their previous life, they have got this. Some error must have happened somewhere, that's why they have got this life in this particular form as Jatayu. What do vultures eat? All filthy stuff. He was not vegetarian, Jatayu. But so they have to, whatever that. So that is why she is telling that it is a sinful body. They got rid of their sinful body in the service of the Lord. And Lord was worshipped by Shabari, the tribal woman, and now here comes a tribal woman, a Shudra woman, who is uneducated, no culture, nothing, but sitting there and tasting the berries every day to feed Sri Ram, because her guru Matanga Muni has told her that one day Ram will come and liberate you. And she has grown old, 60, 70, 80 years have passed. And when Ramchandra ji comes to her and he liberates her, and then after that she tells him to go to Rishyamukh Parvat, and there he meets Hanumanji and becomes a friend of Sugriv and other monkeys. Continuing, 40th verse. Valinascha vadha paschat सीतान्वेषणमेव च सेतुबन्धश्च जलधौ लङ्कायाश्च निरोधनं रावणस्य वधो युद्धे सपुत्रस्य दुरात्मनः विभीषणे राज्यदानं पुष्पकेण मया सह अयोध्यागमनं पश्चात् राज्ये रामाभिषेचनम् एवमादीनि कर्माणि मयैवाचरितान्यपि आरोपयन्ति रामेऽस्मिन् निर्विकारेऽखिलात्मनि. Thereafter, after having become friends with Sugriv, he went and killed Bali, and then along with Sugriv and Jambavan and other army of Sugriv, they searched for Sita and eventually built the bridge. Valinascha vada paschat Sitanveshanam evacha, means they searched for Sita. Setu banjascha jaladau, then they built the Setu, the Rama Setu, the bridge between Sri Lanka, India and Sri Lanka. Setu bandascha jaladau, jaladau is on the waters, Lankayascha nirodhanam, and then and surrounded Lanka from all sides. Then in the 41st verse, रावणस्य वधो युद्धे सपुत्रस्य दुरात्मनः विभीषणे राज्यदानं पुष्पकेण मया सह. Then Sri Ram slayed the evil Ravana, Ravanasya vadho yuddhe, in the war, along with his saputrasya duratmanaha, and along with all his sons and brothers. Here it says suputrasya, along with his sons, and who were duratmanaha, who were evil minded. And then Vibhishane Rajya Danam, and then gave the kingdom of Lanka to his younger brother Vibhishan, not keeping anything for himself. See, Vibhishane Rajyadanam Pushpakena Mayasaha, and then he returned along with me, Maya, along with me, in the Pushpak Viman to Ayodhya. See how quickly the whole story is covered. Huh? Then evamādīni karmāni mayaivacharitānyapi āropayanti rāmesmin nirvikare khilatmani. Then he was put on the throne of the Ayodhya through all these events. Which are the events? Verse 35 to 42. Through all these events, Sita ji is saying, they were not done by Ram, they were done by me. When she says, Mayaivacharitānyapi, I made them happen. They were done by me. Activity cannot be possible in the conscious principle. Activity is possible only in the Prakriti principle. In us, Prakriti is not our, Prakriti is the mind. Where is activity? In the mind. Do we say, my mind is thinking now, my mind is hungry now, my mind is thinking when the lecture will finish, my mind is thinking it's so hot today? Do we say like that? How do we speak? I am feeling hot, I am hungry now, I am speaking, I am listening. We identify. Nothing wrong. Because that is the way you will communicate. Otherwise you will be singled out. Pagal hai. So in normal parlance, you will speak in that manner. Ramchandra ji is also identified, meaning married to Sita. But he got married to Sita after knowing who he was. Now, so first you come to know yourself. Then again you take on the, because phenomena of the mind is not going to go away after realization. But now that phenomena of the mind is a helpful tool. I shouldn't say helpful tool. That mind is now an integrated mind. It's no longer the fickle mind. It's no longer the deluded mind. It's no longer the disturbed mind. It is integrated. And you see the Mahatmas using the same mind, they achieve so many great things. Whether you take Siddhas, they achieve great things. But while they are achieving or not achieving, whether they are like Satya Sai Baba or Raman Maharishi or Nisargadatta Maharaj or Anand Mahima or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, all that you are seeing is the expression of the mind. But you think it is Ramakrishna who is expressing, you think it is Mirabai who is expressing, you think it is Raman Maharishi who is expressing, but it is actually the mind, the Prakriti which is expressing. But we superimpose it on the Atma. So this we must stop, for not out there. You stop it on yourself, automatically that will be your disposition with reference to the whole creation. In fact, there will be no reference left after that. So here he says, he was put on the throne, he was enthroned on the throne of Ayodhya through all these events. Verse 35 to 42 were done by me, and ignorant people blame, allege, or claim that they were done by Sri Ram, who is faultless, who is without any error, who is uniform, means he is never changing, he is always in the same form. What is his uniform state? Absolute state. He is the aropayanti. Arop is blaming. Oi. Oi. Bye. Bye bye. Aropayanti, blame. They claim. What? And who is Ram? Rame asmin nirvikare akhilatmani. Who is Ram? He is without any modifications. So all the modifications that we are seeing in Ram are actually are brought about by Sita, who is the Adi Shakti, who is the potentiality. Potentiality, not only you are again considering Sita to be only that particular form, but Sita is the total potentiality, the infinite potentiality. So Ram is by nature nirvikar, unmodified, and he does nothing. And Akhilatmani. He is Akhilatmani, he is the Atma of everything and everyone. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. We are chanting Balkand. कर लेंगे ओके. ओम श्री ओम अध्यात्म रामायण बालकांड प्रथम सर्ग राम हृदय. यः पृथ्वी भरवारणाय दिविजैः सम्प्रार्थितश्चिन्मयः संजात पृथ्वीतले रविकुले माया मनुष्यो व्ययः. निश्चक्रं हतराक्षस पुनरगात् ब्रह्मत्वमाद्यं स्थिरां कीर्तिं पापहरां विधाय जगतां तं जानकीशं भजे. विश्वोद्भवस्थितिलयादिषु हेतुमेकं मायाश्रयं विगतमायमचिन्त्य मूर्तिम् आनन्दसान्द्रममलं निजबोधरूपं सीतापतिं विदिततत्त्वमहं नमामि. पठन्ति ये नित्यमनन्यचेतसः शृण्वन्ति चाध्यात्मिकसंहितं शुभं रामायणं सर्वपुराणसम्मतं निर्धूतपापा हरिमेव यान्ति ते. अध्यात्मरामायणमेव नित्यं पठेद्यचेद्भवजन्तमुक्तिं गवां सहस्रायुतकोटिदानात् फलं लभेद्य शृणुयात् स नित्यं. पुरारिगिरिसम्भूता श्रीरमार्णवसङ्गता अध्यात्मरामगङ्गेयं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं. कैलासाग्रे कदाचिद्रविशतविमले मन्दिरे रत्नपीठे संविष्टं ध्याननिष्ठं त्रिनयनमभयं सेवितं सिद्धसङ्घैः. देवी वामाङ्कस्थां गिरिवरतनया पार्वती भक्तिनम्रा प्राहेदं देवमीशं सकलमलहरं वाक्यमानन्दकन्दं. पार्वत्युवाच नमोऽस्तु ते देवजगन्निवास सर्वात्मदृक्त्वं परमेश्वरोऽसि. अमितत्वं पुरुषोत्तमस्य सनातनं त्वं च सनातनोऽसि. गोप्यं यदत्यन्तमनन्यवाच्यं वदन्ति भक्तेषु महानुभावाः तदप्यहोऽहं तव देव भक्ता प्रियोऽसि मे त्वं वद यत्तु पृष्टं ज्ञानं सविज्ञानमथानुभक्ति वैराग्ययुक्तं च मितं विभास्वत् जानाम्यहं योषिदपि त्वदुक्तं यथा तथा ब्रूहि तरति येन पृच्छामि चान्यच्च परं रहस्यं तदेव चाग्रे वद वा रिजाक्ष श्रीरामचन्द्रेऽखिललोकसारे भक्तिर्दृढा नौर्भवति प्रसिद्धा भक्तिप्रसिद्धा भवमोक्षणाय नान्यत्ततः साधनमस्ति किञ्चित् तथापि हृत्संशयबन्धनं मे विमेतुर्मर्हस्यमलोक्तिभिस्त्वं वदन्ति रामं परमेकमाद्यं निरस्तमाया गुणसम्प्रवाहं भजन्ति चाहर्निशमप्रमत्ताः परं पदं यान्ति तथैव सिद्धाः वदन्ति केचित् परमोऽपि रामः स्वाविद्यया संवृतमात्मसंयम् जानाति नात्मानमतः परेण सम्बोधितो वेद परात्मतत्त्वं यदि स्म जानाति कृतो विलापः सीताकृतेनेन कृतः परेण जानाति नैवं यदि केन सेव्यः समो हि सर्वैरपि जीवजातैः अत्रोत्तरं किं विदितं भवद्भिः तद्ब्रूत मे संशयभेदिवाक्यं श्रीमहादेव उवाच धन्यासि भक्तासि परात्मनस्त्वं यज्ञातुमिच्छा तव रामतत्त्वं पुराणकेनाप्यभिचोदितोऽहं वक्तुं रहस्यं परमं निगूढं त्वयाद्य भक्त्या परिणोदितोऽहं वक्ष्ये नमस्कृत्य रघुत्तमं ते रामः परात्मा प्रकृतेरनादिः आनन्द एकः पुरुषोत्तमो हि स्वमायया कृत्स्नमिदं हि सृष्ट्वा नभो वदन्तर्वहिरासियोऽर्थः सर्वान्तरस्योऽपि निगूढ आत्मा स्वमायया सृष्टमिदं विचष्टे जगन्ति नित्यं परितो भ्रमन्ति यत्सन्निधौ चुम्बकलोहबद्धि एतन्न जानन्ति विमूढचित्ताः स्वाविद्यया संवृतमानसा ये स्वाज्ञानमप्यात्मनि शुद्धबुद्धेः स्वापरन्त्ययः ये संसारमनुहन्ति ते वै पुत्रादिसक्ता पुरुकर्मयुक्ताः जानन्ति वैवं हृदयं स्थितं वै चामीकरं कण्ठगतं यथा न्याः यथा प्रकाशो न तु विद्यते रवौ ज्योतिस्वभावे परमेश्वरे तथा विशुद्धविज्ञानघने रघुत्तमे अविद्यया कथं स्यात् परतः परात्मनि यथा हि चक्ष्णा भ्रमतः विघादिकं विनष्टदृष्टेर्भ्रमति दृश्यते तथैव देहेन्द्रियकर्तुरात्मनः कृतं परेद्यस्य जनो विमुह्यति नाहो न रात्रि सवितुर्यथा भवेत् प्रकाशरूप्या व्यभिचारतः क्वचित् ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञानमिदं द्वयं हरौ रामे कथं स्थास्यति शुद्धचित् घने रस्मात् परानन्दमये रघुत्तमे विज्ञानरूपे हि न विद्यते तमः अज्ञानसाक्षिण्यरविन्दलोचने मायाश्रयत्वान्न हि मोहकारणम् अत्र ते कथयिष्यामि रहस्यमपि दुर्लभं सीताराममरुत्सूनु संवादं मोक्षसाधनं पुरा रामायणे रामो रावणं वकण्टकं हत्वा रणे रणश्लाघी सपुत्रबलवाहनं सीतया सह सुग्रीव लक्ष्मणाभ्यां समन्वितः अयोध्यामगमद्रामो हनुमत्प्रमुखैर्वृतः अभिषिक्तपरिवृत्तो वसिष्ठाद्यैर्महात्मभिः सिंहासने समासीनः कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभः दृष्ट्वा तदा हनुमन्तं प्राञ्जलिं पुरतः स्थितं कृतकार्यं निराकाङ्क्षं ज्ञानापेक्षं महामतिं रामसीतामुवाचेदं ब्रूहि तत्त्वं हनुमते निष्कल्मषोऽयं ज्ञानस्य नित्यभक्तिमान् तथेति जानकी प्राह तत्त्वं रामस्य निश्चितं हनुमते प्रपन्नाय सीतालोकविमोहिनी रामं विद्धि परं ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयं सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं सत्तामात्रमगोचरम् आनन्दं निर्मलं शान्तं निर्विकारं निरञ्जनं सर्वाव्यापिनमात्मानं स्वप्रकाशमकल्मषं मां विद्धि मूलप्रकृतिं सर्गस्थित्यन्तकारिणीं तस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सृजामीदमतन्द्रिता तत्सान्निध्यान्मया सृष्टं तस्मिन्नारोप्यते बुधैः अयोध्यानगरे जन्म रघुवंशेति निर्मले विश्वामित्रसहायत्वं मखसंरक्षणं ततः अहल्याशापशमनं चापमङ्गोमशेषितुः तत्परिग्रहणं पश्चात् भार्गवस्य मदक्षयः अयोध्यानगरे वासो मया 12 वार्षिकः दण्डकारण्यगमनं विराधवध एव च मायामारीचमरणं माया सीतारुतिस्तथा जटायुषो मोक्षलभः कबन्धस्य तथैव च शबर्यापूजनं पश्चात् सुग्रीवेण समागमः वालिनश्च वध पश्चात् सीतान्वेषणमेव च सेतुबन्धश्च जलधौ लङ्कायाश्च निरोधनं रावणस्य वधो युद्धे सपुत्रस्य दुरात्मनः विभीषणे राज्यदानं पुष्पकेण मया सह अयोध्यागमनं पश्चात् राज्ये रामाभिषेचनम् एवमादीनि कर्माणि मयैवाचरितान्यपि आरोपयन्ति रामेऽस्मिन् निर्विकारेऽखिलात्मनि रामो न गच्छति न तिष्ठति न नुशोचति आकाङ्क्षते त्यजति नो न करोति किञ्चित् आनन्दमूर्तिरचल परिणामहीनो माया गुणाननुगतो हि तथा विभाति ततो राम स्वयं प्राह हनुमन्तमुपस्थितं शृणु तत्त्वं प्रवक्ष्यामि ह्यात्मानात्मपरात्मनाम् आकाशस्य यथा भेदः त्रिविधो दृश्यते महान् जलाशये महाकाशः तदवच्छिन्न एव हि प्रतिबिम्बाख्यमपरं दृश्यते त्रिविधं नभः बुद्ध्यविच्छिन्न चैतन्यम् एकं पूर्णमथा परम् आभासस्त्वपरं बिम्ब भूतमेवं त्रिधा चितिः साभासबुद्धे कर्तृत्वम् अवच्छिन्ने विकारिणि साक्षिण्यारोप्यते भ्रान्त्या जीवत्वं च तथा बुधैः आभासस्तु मृष बुद्धिः अविद्याकार्यमुच्यते अविच्छिन्नं तु तद्ब्रह्म विच्छेदस्तु विकल्पतः अविच्छिन्नस्य पूर्णेन एकत्वं प्रतिपाद्यते तत्त्वमस्यादिवाक्यैश्च साभासस्यामस्तथा ऐक्यज्ञानं यदोत्पन्नं महावाक्येन च मनोः तदा विद्या स्वकार्यैश्च यत्येव न संशयः एतद्विज्ञाय मद्भक्तो मद्भावायोपपद्यते मद्भक्तिविमुखानां हि शास्त्रगर्तेषु मुह्यतां न ज्ञानं न च मोक्षः स्यात् तेषां जन्मशतैरपि इदं रहस्यं हृदयं ममात्मनो मयैव साक्षात् कथितं तवानघ मद्भक्तिहीनाय शठाय न त्वया दातव्यमैन्द्रादपि आज्यतोऽधिकं श्रीमहादेव उवाच एतत्ते विहितं देवि श्रीरामहृदयं मया अधिगुह्यतमं हृद्यं पवित्रं पापशोधनं साक्षाद् रामेण कथितं सर्ववेदान्तसङ्ग्रहं यः पठेत् सततं भक्त्या सप्तो नात्र संशयः ब्रह्महत्यादिपापानि बहुजन्मार्जितान्यपि नश्यन्त्येव न सन्देहो रामस्य वचनं यथा योतिभ्रष्टोति पापी परदा परदा ना फिर से योतिभ्रष्टोति पापी परघन परदा रेपु नित्योद्यतो वा स्तेयी ब्रह्मग्न पितृवधनिरतो योगी वृन्दापकारी यः सम्पूज्याभिरामं पठति च हृदयं रामचन्द्रस्य भक्त्या योगीन्द्रैरप्यलभ्यं पदमिह लभते सर्वदेवैः स पूज्यं योगीन्द्रैरप्यलभ्यं पदमिह लभते सर्वदेवैः स पूज्यम् इति श्रीमदध्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे बालकाण्डे श्रीरामहृदयं नाम प्रथमः सर्गः। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। हर हर नमः पार्वती पदे, हर हर महादेव।